Back to the Headbangers Ball. This is a special edition. We're on the road in London, invading the empire, if you will, with QUEENSRYCHE. And here are the guys from QUEENSRYCHE. Just happened to be on this bus. How's everything going?
Sightseeing, Ricky. We're cruising about and enjoying the sunshine.
And Jeff, can you tell us what this is right here?
This is what's known as Hyde Park.
Oh, you see, I was just guessing like you wouldn't know, and you do know.
Yeah, I've been here before, Ricky.
Oh, see, well, so have I, but I just don't know anything where we are. We're going to be back with these guys from QUEENSRYCHE, touring lovely London, but right now it's time to play the number 5 Skull Crusher of the week, and here it is. Welcome back to Headbangers Ball, invading the empire with QUEENSRYCHE, and here we are with QUEENSRYCHE on top of a double-decker bus in London, England. And what is that right there? You could explain that, since you're our trivia knowledge guy right now.
Well, this would qualify under the category of point of interest, actually, Ricky. It is the Royal Albert Hall, famous for a few things, but most notably the Beatles' first prestigious gig in London. Some years ago. I know you featured them quite frequently on the Headbangers.
Tons of times.
Right, right. And actually there was once I think a line in a Beatles song that went something like, "Now they know how many holes it takes to fill the..."
Royal Albert Hall.
Some.
And how many holes does it take?
You know, that part I haven't figured out.
Now, you guys, changing the subject completely, you've been going for the American tour with QUEENSRYCHE's been going for how long now?
Since April.
And it's been going real good?
No, it's been terrible.
It's been horrible, hasn't it? Nobody's showing up. Because right now, I mean, I guess with the recession in America, it's been hard to get a lot of people to the shows, and I hear that, you know, definitely people are showing up at the QUEENSRYCHE shows, which is great.
Yes, I was joking. It's been going really, really very well, and we've had a lot of people turn out, and very successful shows, actually. We've been very lucky.
Invading the empire with QUEENSRYCHE. We're here with QUEENSRYCHE. Right here is Trafalgar Square, where not only tourists, but pigeons from all over the world gather here every single day. Now tell us what we're about to do next, please.
I believe we're heading for a ball buster. Here's a look at what happened last week. Tonight, Kick Tracy's You're So Strange goes up against last week's winner. So call and vote, will you?
What are the numbers to call?
1-900-370-0100. Each call is 50 cents.
One more time that number, please.
It's 1-900-307-01.
No, you got it wrong. Say it again.
What is it? What?
1-900. The number's printed right there. 1-900-370-0100. And how much does each call cost?
50, was it 50
cents? Or about a half a pound, right? Quarter of a pound. Anyway, here's the current champ.
Something I said?
Well, taking in the sights right now. He's enjoying the view, actually.
He's overwhelmed by Piccadilly Circus. Well, just in case you forgot, next Saturday we are going to be at Castle Donington with QUEENSRYCHE. Not only is QUEENSRYCHE playing, Black Crowes are playing, Motley Crue is playing, Metallica's playing, and AC/DC's playing. Did I get it all?
That's it.
It's going to be a great show, and I'm going to talk with these guys about the prior Monster shows and a little bit about what we can expect next Saturday and new stuff and everything else. But right now it's time for the triple thrash threat, you know, the part where you turn it way up and piss everybody next door off. Started off with Annihilator, The Fun Palace.
For dinner at 8, she loves the theater, doesn't come late. She never bothered with anyone she dates. That's why the lady is a tramp.
Invading the Empire with QUEENSRYCHE. Hi, I'm Ricky Rackman. This is QUEENSRYCHE. In the background, it's Buckingham Palace. You just saw the triple thrash threat. And talking about the Monsters of Rock Festival, you guys have been on that tour for a little bit now. And I heard you just got back from some pretty weird places playing.
Recently, we played in Poland, which was our first time there. It was rather interesting. A place called Katowice, the most polluted city in the world. We lived. We're here.
What are the rock and roll fans like in Poland?
They're very industrial. Katowice is a very industrial coal mining town, and a lot of denim and leather, and you know, soot. But they had a really good caviar and really good vodka. Vodka kills you. But, yeah.
Good cheap vodka.
Nice people there, too. We had a good time.
Really. And where else does this, other than Castle Donington, which we're going to be at next Saturday, where else does the Monsters of Rock tour go to?
Well, after Donington, we're off to Budapest in Romania.
Big rock and roll town, Budapest.
Very big, actually. And going up to Berlin, through Germany, Paris, Spain, Luxembourg, Switzerland.
And then it's back to Canada and the States for the second leg of the Queensryche tour, right?
Yes, for the finish.
Great. Well, we'll be back with Queensryche. Ricky Rackman here, Headbangers Ball, Invading the Empire with Queensryche. Big Ben, Parliament. It was a joke I did last year, and if you saw the movie Vacation, you would have laughed, but nobody laughed last year, and it's probably equally as funny this year. I understand you know an interesting fact about Big Ben, don't you?
Yeah, actually, Big Ben is behind us. It's the huge clock, and I don't think most people know that actually Big Ben is not really the clock, but it's the bell that's inside the clock, and this is a little FYI for the day. And
I feel much better knowing that now. So anyways, we're in England, and like I said, next Saturday we're playing the Monsters of Rock Festival. And talk a little bit about the new record, which I might add that even before the record came out, I did say that Queensryche was going to be very, very big this year, and I think I was kind of right, because this is definitely the best record as far as sales that you've put out yet, right?
Yes, I would say that your powers of assumption were in full forte, Ricky.
So, I mean, how does it feel? I mean, the Queensryche fan base is getting bigger and bigger all the time. And I mean, it must be great when you guys are playing and see, when you used to be an opening band, I remember seeing you guys open for Metallica, and now you guys are playing headlining arenas, selling it out, and everybody's there to see Queensryche.
Yeah, it's been a nice long travel for us, but you know, we're playing Donington now, which is a real thrill for us, the first time. It's really opening a lot of doors for us in Europe, and our headlining tour of the States, and you know, things are going great. We're really happy that people are tuning into Queensryche. And it's a nice shirt you have on there, as a matter of fact, Ricky. Very nice.
You know, I even bought this shirt. Just thought I'd tell you that. I'm that guy that bought it. A little bit about the Monsters of Rock tour. A lot of the tours people have been saying, you know, with these bands like the Clash the Titans tours, a lot of the bands haven't been getting along. How's everything been going on the Monsters of Rock tour with all the bands like Metallica and AC/DC?
great so far. Actually, though, Donington being the third show, we've only done 2 so far. The one in Poland that we talked about, and started off in Copenhagen, Denmark. And so Motley Crue hasn't been out here yet, but
we've
but the other
with
bands.
almost every band that's on the bill, which is sort of our relationship with AC/DC, Metallica. You know, we've opened for those bands, and we're still opening for them.
We'll be back with Queensryche, but right now, let's play a video from these guys. Here's Breaking the Silence from Queensryche.
And there's a leaf on the microphone.
Well, welcome back to the Headbangers Ball. Right in the background is Westminster Abbey, where all the kings and queens of England have been crowned. And right now we're here with Queensryche because this is part of the Invading the Empire with Queensryche. And if Queensryche wasn't here, it really wouldn't make much sense. This might sound like a really stupid question, but with the name Queensryche, is there any like tie-in with England or anything like that?
None whatsoever.
I knew it was a stupid question. I didn't want to ask it, but I just felt compelled to anyway.
Well, now we all know for sure, don't we?
See, and now, because I'm sure there was like 1 or 2 people that were wondering that very same thing. Now, you've been to England before, right?
Yeah, I think the first time we came here was 1984 to do a record.
To do the Warning record.
The Warning record. Thank you, Ricky. I've forgotten. It's been so long.
And if you need any questions about Queensryche, I could probably help you out on it.
Could you? Where are we going next?
I have absolutely no idea, but I think we may even drive by the place where you recorded the Warning album, which was called...
The Warning album?
The Warning album. Back when I was a kid, they used to have records. Black vinyl things with holes in them.
Is this our life?
This is it. This is it. This is what it's been reduced to. Anyway, we'll be back hanging out with Queensryche in London, England. But right now, it's time for the number 3 Skull Crusher of the week, and here it is. I am the teacher of romance. The very beautiful St. Paul's Cathedral. My accent's changing in the middle of it, can you tell? Anyway, this is the place where Lady Di and Chuck, well, Charles is what they call him out here, but me and him, we call him Chuck, you know. They got how the English people get really mad when you do that stuff, too. But they got married here 10 years ago, and I'm still waiting for my invitation. I guess it's not coming. Anyways, we're about to do the thing, the Frantic Fringe thing. Now, if you guys don't know what the Frantic Fringe is, it's where we play bands that it's kind of hard to label them. They're rock and roll, but they don't really have any kind of area that they fit into. Is there any kind of new bands that you've been listening to a lot lately?
New bands listening a lot lately. Alice in Chains?
Yeah, you mentioned that you liked Alice in Chains. Was it that Seattle thing?
Yeah, I think so, and just, that they write good songs. Yeah, good.
Do you notice that there is like a big Seattle music scene kind of happening? I mean, with Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, and it seems like a lot of bands from Seattle are really starting to make it now.
Yeah, there's always been a real push for music in Seattle. There's been a lot of bands around and stuff, and I think it's just taking time for the exposure to happen, And I think Seattle's starting to become a focal point for music these days. There's a lot of good bands out of there, and it's cool.
Because if you didn't know, Queensryche are from Seattle. Well, now we're going to start the Frantic Fringe, and I'll let you introduce this video.
Yes, this is White Trash with Apple Pie.
Rackman here, Headbangers Ball, Invading the Empire with Queensryche. In the background, you see the Tower Bridge, and right now we're on the London Bridge. And do you know how many London bridges there are? Well, I do. There's 3. The first one fell into the river, hence the song London Bridge is Falling Down. The second London Bridge was taken apart and reassembled in Lake Havasu, Arizona. And the third bridge is used to house this episode of the Headbangers Ball, which we're on right now.
He's reading that, by the way.
I'm really not. This says the episode of Headbangers Ball, see? Anyways.
We don't know anything. We're just here for the frequent flyer miles.
That's right. We're here to earn frequent flyer and to learn this educational trip of London, which so far has been quite educational.
Yeah, we're constantly learning things here. How to carry around shrapnel in your pocket. That's the change here. It's very heavy.
Anyways, right now it's time to play the number 2 Skull Crusher. And here it is, and we will be back in London, England with Queensryche. Here's the number 2 Skull Crusher. Headbangers Ball, Invading the Empire with Queensryche. We're here with Queensryche right now going over the Tower Bridge in London. And for those of you that really didn't know much about English history, it's probably because you didn't have teachers like the guys from Queensryche. And I understand you're going to tell us a little bit about the Tower of London.
Well, here it is. Yeah, this is... Go ahead, Scott. This is it, the Tower of London. It's used to be an old fortress back in the days when fortresses were popular, and now it's a big museum. And it houses things like the Star of Africa diamond. The crown jewels are housed in here, amongst armored guards and everything. And they have this incredible armory in here with all the suits of armor and stuff. And they got this one that you got to see. It's this big suit of armor, and it's just standing there. And there's a cannonball hole right through here, and apparently somebody was wearing it when the ball went through him, but we couldn't find him.
He wasn't around to talk about it.
Exactly. Maybe next time.
And I understand the walls are like 15 feet thick there to protect all this valuable stuff. We're about to play a video from you guys, and maybe you can tell us a little story before we go into it. Jeff?
Well, I think Ed wrote the title of this song, and actually it's misspelled. Maybe Ed could tell us what it really is.
It's actually supposed to be called Jet Skiing Woman.
And here it is. On MTV.
Ricky Rackman here, Headbangers Ball, on location with Queensryche. Right now we're on the steps of the legendary Abbey Road recording studio. Right over there at the crosswalk was the famous spot where, which band did their album cover?
The Beatles.
Oh, I meant the Red Hot Chili Peppers. But yeah, the Beatles did too.
Those guys,
and also you guys recorded here at the legendary Abbey Road Studios, right?
We've done some work here. First, I think it was 1984, we did our string arrangements, orchestral stuff here. Then we've used it off and on to do overdubs on things, and it's been a good studio.
I understand there's something about the mixing board, or...
Yeah, actually, when we were here in 1984, we were the last band to use the original mixing console that had been used throughout all the major recordings done in this facility. So Queensryche on the Warning was the last band to use that mixing console.
Was because it was irreparable, or?
It was, the booming technology, and...
It was our decision.
It was your decision.
Yeah.
I don't think this should be used anymore.
Actually, they tell every band that story.
Now, speaking of recording of the record, after this tour, you got plans to start recording again? Very soon, or any work on new Queensryche stuff?
No, we're calling it quits. This is it.
You don't say that because there's all these Queensryche fans out there that take everything you say seriously. They go, this is the last Queensryche record.
I'm serious.
Ditto.
But not serious. Seriously.
Trust us, we're used car salesmen.
Well, they could or could not be serious, and maybe we'll try to find out within the next show.
Actually, we're looking to end the tour sometime in December, and after that, we're going to take a small break and go right back in. So.
See, that was the answer I was looking for. Anyway, right now, let's go into a video that I dig a real lot, and every thing that you could imagine happening in a bad dream happens in this video. Brand new, and I love this album a lot. It's new Metallica, and this is Enter Sandman.